Hi everyone, my name is Elissa Kalver. I am the founder of WeGotThis.org and I live with stage 4 breast cancer. Today is June 4th, 2025 and it is my 38th birthday. And when I thought about what I wanted to do today, I came up with this idea to have some really fun conversations with friends about some crazy ideas that we've had. Maybe this being one of mine. But I have been having so much fun. I think otherwise I might have been pretty tired this morning staying in bed, and I'm so glad that I'm here having a blast chatting it up. So each one that you're seeing all takes place on my 38th birthday, but I'm switching shirts because why not? Give you a little taste of flavor of each of my wardrobe. So I am very excited to announce my next guest, my friend Arielle. How are you?
I'm great, Elissa. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for taking my last minute text, which is how we've been talking about this each time, is like, there's been a lot going on this week. My book launched yesterday and things like that. It was kind of one of those things that I felt like if I planned too many things in advance, it would probably be a bit overwhelming. I'd get confused. So I was like, you know what? Whoever's available, we're going to figure it out. And I appreciate that you were down to hang.
My pleasure. Why plan when your friends can just literally show up? It's your birthday. We have to be here. This is incredible.
Yeah,
I'm so
like
excited.
tying in a little obligation, you know? never hurt anyone.
Right.
I was thinking about that when I'm on podcasts and people read my bio. It's, I appreciate it and stuff, but there's like some of the things that you're like, oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't have thought to actually mention that, or, certain things. So I would love if you wouldn't mind taking a couple minutes, just like telling us who you are, like how would you introduce yourself and what do you want people to know about you? And then we'll dive into the juicy stuff.
That sounds great. Thank you, Elissa.
Of course.
Let's see, where should I even begin? I'm from upstate New York originally. I have been in Los Angeles, California for way too long. No, I love it here. The weather's much better. And I am a mother of 2 kids. I think first and foremost, that really is my life. And then also, I have a few different businesses that I run. So I am a content creator. I create content for Relish x Arielle, which is a fashion and lifestyle blog, and I show a lot of shenanigans with my children. And then separately, I also run Elissa Media, which is a media agency. We're a 360-degree media agency, and we support brands in becoming creators in their own right. We love telling a story. We love authentic content and really just helping people to build brand awareness on their channels.
I love that. So yeah, of course, you have awesome content, all that stuff, but a lot of what I feel like you're really focused on is your business. So like turning the camera on to you now.
Which is weird, but here we are.
Yeah, because you're behind the scenes, right? Helping produce podcasts and putting together the content and all that. So let's have some fun, like hearing about all the fun things. We originally met through our mutual friend, Allison Hagendorf. And it's just like one of those things where I feel like amazing people bring together amazing people. And you're like, oh my God, I just want to know all the people you like because I like them too.
Yes.
So I'm so glad we've all gotten to connect and become friends. I asked you, like I asked everyone, kind of just sent a simple text like, don't overthink it, but what is kind of a crazy story? And to preface that, I've explained in other episodes that like crazy stories can just be crazy fun, and things like that. A lot of times I refer to crazy things to like make other people feel more comfortable about it. Like I don't necessarily think it's crazy. I'm very confident in it, but they probably will. So I like, make it so that other people can feel more comfortable, like a lot of things in life.
Yes.
But I wanted to see what resonated for you. What did you feel called to chat about today?
Well, Elissa, I'm so glad you asked because upon receiving your text, I had about 50 options, all of which were a little bit crazy. And then on the way here, I thought, you know what? Let's just talk about something a little normal crazy.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So I can give you the cliff notes of the other ones at the end.
Yeah.
Because you obviously need those too.
Yeah. When you come up with 50 off of one text, we got to know a little bit about your history,
Exactly. I was like, how long is this podcast? But yeah, I think the craziest thing I've ever done as a very type A person, very risk averse, is after 20 years working in the entertainment industry, working in primarily television, in unscripted programming, as both a television executive where I would help to buy programming and then work with production companies to put that content on television, or as an executive producer where I would develop content and I would bring that out to market and then produce it. I wore both of these hats for years on and off, and I had a really great career I was excited about. And I think about a year ago, just over a year ago, after all of this, wonderful time working with a great community of people, I decided, well, why don't I just start my own thing? And for some people that might not seem crazy, but for the human that I am, that my family knows, they called to see if I was okay. Because it was actually a really, really daunting thing for me.
Yeah.
I think just being able to, go to work, have a paycheck, hopefully, work really, really hard, and do what you just know how to do, kind of on this hamster wheel that we call life. Mm-hmm. We can all do that. But for me, jumping off that hamster wheel and betting on myself for the first time, it was one of the most terrifying things I have ever done. And past those 50 stories that I shared with you, which again, are pretty good, if I do say so myself. No, this was big. And for me, this was the type of thing where at the top of last year, so this is the top of 2024, after leading a team for a number of years that I was really proud of, that I really loved, I was looking out at the entertainment industry and I was realizing, oh my God, it's changing so much. What is this world with, social media taking over, with cable television in a totally different place, and all the things? I thought, okay, let's just start a media agency at a time where media is kind of in a strange place. And I think, on Shark Tank, when they're always saying something like, okay, pick a business that people need and be really strategic about it and jump into something that is going to work for the most part. I didn't know any of those things. But for the first time in my career, I decided to bet on myself, and I did it. And last year and this year, it's actually been the most liberating time of my life. I'm so grateful. I've been able to work with people I'm so, so, so proud to know and to create with and to collaborate with. And it's been awesome. Past the anxiety attacks, along the way. Sure.
No, I love that, and I love how you say about how for some people that might not sound crazy. I mean, maybe to entrepreneurial people, the people who have started their own business, but for most people, you're in a career, and even switching the type of career is a crazy move.
Exactly.
But switching off of being employed by someone to taking that and betting on yourself is huge. And does it feel so you said liberating, empowering and exciting?
It's literally all of those things. And also, in the beginning especially, every night I would close my eyes and I was just like, what did I do? This is crazy. Yeah. And because you're building something from the ground up.
Yeah.
But I will say that I had the best kind of send-off into the space. So after years of never taking a vacation because I was just working 24/7, I decided, let's start this thing off right. I took a trip with my little sister for the first time. We've never traveled as adults. And we traveled to Paris for just a few days. And we just did all the things. And it was kind of like a brand new, fresh start.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend that to anybody who's looking to just jump off and start something.
I love that.
The answer is just do it.
Yes.
Believe in yourself. It will be extremely scary. It actually will be terrifying.
Yeah.
But if you take that trip before, you feel a little bit better.
I like that. Is there anything that you regret or would have done differently in hindsight now?
I don't think so. I think given all of the circumstances and the fact that I needed to jump in so quickly in order to really get this engine rolling and started, I don't really have any regrets. I do think that every single day I'm learning something new. Yeah. I'm looking back at projects I started in the beginning and I'm like, okay, I probably could have done something a little bit different there. But I've learned that the people that are meant to find you and the projects that are meant for you as woo-woo as this sounds, they really do ultimately find you.
Yeah.
And the ones that are a lot harder to grasp, that you're chasing, that you're just like, oh my gosh, when is this coming my way? I'm doing 50,000 projects to try to get this project.
Yeah.
Sometimes those aren't the one.
Totally.
So I've learned a lot.
I like that. I say a lot, like, I think that we end up where we're supposed to be. Like, I don't think that everything happens for a reason. I think that that's messed up for most of us.
Oh, 100%.
But I do think that there's certain things that you're like, I used to own a gym, a cardio boxing gym in Woodland Hills, and that was a crazy idea. Like, and it really was a ton of work. It was, it really, I got very lucky. I sold the gym before COVID, and like, it all worked out. And I look back at it, and it's like those years, were the hardest I ever worked for the least amount of money I've ever made, and all these kinds of things. And it's like, if you could control now the past, I wouldn't remove that chapter.
Exactly.
Because it still shows up now. Like, some of my closest friends, some of the contacts I have, you play all those degrees of separation, so many of them were from the gym.
That's right.
Like, lifelong friends that you kind of forget even now, like, oh yeah, we met because you were a member at my gym. Or because you came in and took that class off ClassPass one time. Yeah. And I think it's like, you don't have the opportunity to even experience that if you don't take certain leaps. And it's not like everyone has to, I always joke, like, you don't have to start a nonprofit in the middle of chemo, right? Like, that
you
doesn't
don't have
to. Be your thing.
Not everybody is Elissa,
But also, like, how we define, like, what those jumps are can be different,
Yes.
Like, maybe the craziest thing you do in the middle of chemo is learn how to golf. Or learn a new sport, or like at your career, maybe you do a side hustle because jumping off and doing your own business isn't for you. Or maybe you end up doing that and you're just like a serial entrepreneur and you're just like doing all these different things. So.
Well, and I think too, when you text or texted, I'm like, how do you even say that?
Yeah.
When you texted me.
Yeah.
I thought through all of these things, and then I realized what I think is really poignant is that these crazy things, right? Like, these crazy stories, they can be really out there and really funny.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, there are crazy things that a lot of us are doing all the time that we should actually be more proud of, right? Like, when I did this, I wasn't proud. I was like, okay, I'm literally insane, and I don't know where this is going to go. But as the months have gone on, and as this has indeed worked, thank goodness, and knock on wood, and how, as I've learned so many more pieces to this, I look back and I think that was literally the craziest thing I have ever done, because for my personality type as the student in school who was like, really into homework, and like, I was like, not.
I get that, like, I'm like, when I'm with you, I'm like, she's smart. You're like,
Elissa,
oh yeah, like,
Elissa. I
like
feel the same about you.
Arielle knows her stuff,
Well, I feel the same about you, and thank you very, very much.
Of course.
I think that, it's terrifying to jump off that cliff, but I do hope that for both of us in this kind of entrepreneurial world, that people see these stories. I know I look at your stories, and I text you all the time that I'm constantly inspired. I think that's the name of the game, is how can we choose to do things that bring us joy, that feel really authentic to who we are, and then how can what we're doing really affect others in this super positive way. And I think to have that ability and to grow into that place as a mother, as a woman, as a human, that's where it's at for me.
I love that. And the mother thing was what I was actually just gonna hone in on a little bit, because I love that what you consider like the craziest move, the biggest jump, leap, like not only like in your life, but career, like it affects a lot of things in your life. Sure. You have like an amazing husband who I'm sure has been so supportive, and 2 beautiful daughters. And I love that you did it like amidst having the family. You weren't like, because so many people, and you remember back, right? Like when we're younger, and people, I mean, we're super young now.
We're so young.
But
especially on your birthday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you think back and you're like, everyone tries to squeeze in these things before you have kids, before you do this or that.
Yes.
And like, I think of these things now, like I couldn't time out or choose, this trajectory of cancer inspiring a lot of these additional entrepreneurial ideas. But like, I love that Ellie sees it. Like, I want her to always feel like she can take those leaps and do different things if that's what she wants to do.
Yes.
But I'm so glad it's not just the stories, which, we're gonna get into a few of the fun pre-stories too. But like, I've done crazy things my whole life, but like the things that she's getting to see and witness, and I always say, like, I want her to understand cancer, that I have it. I want her to see that I live with it. Like, I don't want her to only associate that with dying, you know, and you can relate that to anything. Just like you want to see your kids, like, with you and your career, pursuing what you want, being happy and empowered by it. And I think that that's, like, so powerful and special.
I'm right there with you. I think you bring up such a great point, because what I should have broken down from the beginning is the reason this leap was so scary was because of the kids. Yeah. I think they grew up in every day. It's like, okay, I every day would bring them to school, and then I would bring them home, you know, at the end of the day. But they didn't see what was going on in the middle. And sometimes I was at work way too late to even pick them up. Sometimes I'd get home after bedtime, which broke my heart. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you do what you need to do. I think having them see how hard their parents are working, and my husband is an entrepreneur as well, which is very, you know, it's wonderful on one hand, and also when you have two entrepreneurs in the family, there's a lot going on. So our kids are really, really seeing this from the ground up. But taking the leap when you have children, when you have a mortgage and all of these things that you have built in your adult life, that's where the real challenge lies. And I think that is exactly why I thought I was insane for a few minutes there.
Yeah. And I think now you know, like, you're not.
Could be. Could still be. But
we all could still be crazy.
Sure.
We all are. But
this was
this
right
idea
move.
was not insane. It was not crazy to our standards, or maybe what people would think was crazy. But to a lot of people, that idea would give them panic attacks.
Oh,
you know,
for sure.
and all that. It's
for
amazing.
Sure. And it did for me, let me tell you. I mean, in the beginning, I think when you're somebody who's been, as I mentioned earlier, on this hamster wheel, and you're just so used, it's almost like somebody in sports, right? Where you know what your practice is every day. You know what you need to eat to train. Mm-hmm. And likewise with a career, you get up, you go to work, you know what to expect. And you know, I just turned 40, so I'm older than you, Elissa.
I was at your birthday party.
Yes, you were.
Happy birthday.
But I thank you. I'm so happy you were there.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
the best.
It was so fun.
And yeah, I think when you hit the 38s, the 39s, the 40s, and I'm sure beyond, which, you know, haven't been there yet, but I only assume that all of this stuff becomes more and more powerful because you're just growing as a person, you know what you want, and also you have more to lose. And when you get off that track for the first time, when you're off the hamster wheel and your entire life has been, okay, I do this and then I do this, it's very systematic. At the beginning of starting this company, I was like, oh my God, what do I do? How does the day go?
Yeah.
And I think that's been the greatest achievement, to kind of create your own routine, figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And I can say almost a year and a half in, I'm finally there.
I love that. I love that so much. And I also feel like we're not as much in a generation anymore where you like work the same job your whole life and then retire. You know, like we don't even know if we'll have Social Security, you know?
We have no idea.
So there's all these things, and like, you know, and not in a grim way, but like, I don't know if I
true.
ever will reach 69 and a half to, you know, have my retirement. And, you know, I've spent most of my career selling corporate retirement plans, like 401k.
Ironic.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny when you think about that. But I also, like, regardless of that, like of having cancer, any of those things, it's like, why would we delay like happiness and doing what we love for that time later in life? Like, they don't have to be mutually exclusive. Like, why can't we combine
That's exactly
all these things?
Right.
That doesn't mean that like what we do, just because, you know, we're doing what we want to be doing, like it's still stressful. It's still a ton of work. Usually, I think from my experience going entrepreneurial, like definitely have made less money than when I'm working for a large company.
Of course.
But it's the big picture.
It's the big
It's the
picture.
big picture of it, and having that opportunity to like make a bigger impact than when it's not your own, or like, you know, make the bigger impact on your family. Like, yeah, you're taking more risk, but there's more reward possible too. And even if you never hit that, like I mean, how many major entrepreneurs have failed? That's a big part of it. But like, just knowing that you're going for it.
Just trying, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just taking that leap, that is everything.
Yeah.
And man, it's a scary leap. But people like you inspired me, and we have so many amazing friends around us that kill it.
I love it.
So I'm like, if they can do it, I can try to do it.
Yeah. I'm big on that, like who you surround yourself with.
It's huge.
Like I admire all of my friends, like you.
And I admire all of your friends. And mine. Yes.
You know, you get to talk to these people, like at your birthday party or other things. I love like people always would joke when we would have parties because like we would invite like 80 of our closest friends, and you know these people from all parts of our lives crossing over.
Yeah.
It's like so fun because you'd see people talking who you just assume they know each other because I know both of them. And then you realize that they don't, and like all this fun stuff. It's really cool.
I do. I love so much when friends meet at parties like that, and then you see them together on social media later, and you're just like, whoa, you connected at my party and you like each other. You did something right.
Yeah, totally. Okay, well, I want to make sure we have time to revisit. I mean, you said 50 ideas. Let's pull out a couple. Like they can be fun thing, like whatever you think. Let's go.
All right, I'm gonna pull some out here. Okay. Let's see. When I was in my 20s, very young, I auditioned for a band. I was a television executive at the time, and I had studied music and theater and definitely not hip hop. Okay, I'll just preface it with this. But I ended up, I was doing triathlons at the time. I was working at Disney, actually. I was on the Disney triathlon team.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
I was not great, but I really enjoyed it, and I met amazing people.
Yeah.
And at the end of one of these races, somebody had invited me to audition for a band. And this band I had heard was about to be signed by Warner Brothers. It was like a real thing.
Okay.
And I loved to sing, as I mentioned. I also loved my job. And I was like, I mean, I guess I'll go to this audition. I don't audition for anything. I literally was just a professional behind-the-scenes human. Long story short, that was crazy because I went after work and ended up making the band. And then that is how I ultimately met my husband.
Oh.
So he was the leader of this band. I had to memorize all the songs that he wrote, and I was just like, oh my God, these songs are great. And I would study them in between lunches and whatever else, and I had to just like get on a stage and perform all of them.
Yeah.
And at our first concert, my sister actually called me. I don't even know if FaceTime existed at the time, so I must have just sent her a photo of the guy. Yeah. And she was like, Arielle, that's who you're going to marry.
Oh my God.
And I was like, no, I will not be marrying the band guy. I'm just here to perform. And I later found out that the band guy started to invite me to band practices at restaurants by myself. And I thought that was really weird. So I'd have my friends like text me at certain times. I was like, if this band practice ends up at another Aroma Cafe or elsewhere, I need you to get me out of here.
Yeah.
So they would. And then eventually we'd have real practice and like sometimes another restaurant, bizarro practice / let's just eat. And ultimately, he was really nice. And on my birthday, since we're speaking of birthdays today, he ended up getting me a keyboard and he wrote me a song, which at first I was a little iffy about. I was like, I don't know how good the song is. This could be a little weird. But it ended up being really great. So that was the start of us dating. So because I went on this crazy thing, again, I had a corporate job. We were touring on the weekends. We got a lot of placements with our music on television.
That's
behind the scenes. Like nobody really knew this at the time. I just went about my TV world and I loved my TV world. But that's actually how I met my husband.
I love that. Like, look, you know, those are the kinds of things that I think most crazy ideas actually end up with something that you're like, this never would have happened if I didn't do this or that, and you know, all those things. And I mean, thank God, because I love your husband.
He's great. I think we'll keep him.
You should definitely keep him
for
sure. Yeah. I mean, that. I love the idea though that he's like band practice, and it's just you and him, and you're so nice. You're probably like, you know, just like talking. He's like, okay.
Nice, but also I was like, this is kind of creepy.
He's like, maybe I can keep getting away with this.
Well, that, and also I later found out that he actually told, it was all guys and me. So he told the other guys that they couldn't date me and nobody could date me. Like he was like, if it's a female singer that's
one's
coming
allowed to
in,
date her.
nobody, right. And then like, you're inviting me to restaurants? This is weird. This is strange. But I didn't know that rule at the time. And I wasn't looking to date him.
Yeah.
But the rest is history. And now we have children.
I love that.
So that's, I mean, when I think of crazy stories, I'm like, I have crazy stories. Like, I don't know if they're the level of the normal human crazy stories.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of, let's see, other crazy stories. I guess in 6th grade, I wanted to be a gymnast. Again, wasn't great. But I ended up kind of like breaking my foot doing something silly. Like it was just on a beam. It happened to be at school, in the school gym. It wasn't even at real practice.
Okay.
And then that turned into 6 months where I could not walk for 6 months. And they found out that I had some like bizarro thing called reflex sympathetic dystrophy.
Okay.
Where my brain thought that my leg was still broken after many, many months. The whole thing just turned blue. And literally for 6 months, like there's actually in my middle school, I don't know if it's still there, but there was a picture of my best friend at the time holding my books and this little girl on crutches from the back. It's a really depressing picture. Yeah. And I'm just like, like on these crutches. And I still, like, I think
with
back
like
to
towels around them.
Like literally.
In school. Yeah,
literally with the towels. And I was really, really fast on those crutches. I've later tried them as an adult. Not so fast.
Not so swift.
Not the same. So another crazy story was just like from this little freak accident.
Yeah.
I had to almost get my leg amputated. It was like a whole thing.
Wow.
But here we are. I do triathlons, I run.
Look
not
at
a big
that.
deal. So that's where I was like, that's not the story for today.
But those were definitely some good bonus add-ons, so I'm really glad that you did that. Where can everyone find you? I know you mentioned earlier, like where else should people, name all the things again so we can recap
Thank you,
here.
Elissa. Okay, so you can find me at my Instagram, which is at relishexarielle.com. And by .com, I mean, that's not correct. It's just a handle, at relishexarielle. And then I'm also at www.relishexarielle.com. That's my website. And at Eliza Media Group, that's ALIZA Media Group. That is our Instagram for our media company. And we have a website as well. I mean, should we give all the things?
Give all the things.
Okay.
Yeah, they just heard about how you started it. They got to know where to
Started
find it.
and almost lost my leg in 6th grade, but we're good. We're good.
Unrelated circumstances.
Completely unrelated.
Yeah.
ElizaMediagroup.com is the website. And come follow us. Would love it. And most importantly, I'm just so grateful for this time with you on your birthday.
I love it. Like, it's funny because a lot of this, like, I think that I do value capturing content and things differently than I ever did.
Yes.
Like,
You're
not,
great at
again,
it.
not that I feel like I'm, like, dying tomorrow, but, like, you know, I lost my brother 10 years ago almost. And, like, I don't have a lot of videos because it was a different time, you know? One of my
Yes.
only regret in life is actually not having a videographer at our wedding. Because I don't have my brother's speech. I don't, you know, there's certain things that you're like, I'll
yes.
never get that back, you know? But I think that it's just like, it's so fun to be in a setting where we have a topic and we're sitting down and like we really are just hanging out and
Yes.
talking about something that we might not have ended up ever discussing if we, you know, went out to lunch or something else, which we probably would talk about your company, but still. It's
Company,
like a
but
different way.
not the leg.
Not the leg. Not the leg. And I didn't know about the creepy aroma dates. So
Didn't know the creepy aroma date.
definitely holding that in my back pocket the next time.
I mean, you'd be like, Phil,
Yeah.
what was up with that?
So yeah, like I want to know his perspective on it too.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah, I
It's
want like a
good one.
list of restaurants too. Like, so when you're a guy trying to pretend like there's band rehearsal at restaurants, where do you pick?
I mean, the funniest thing is, it was literally just the one.
Okay.
But yeah, I bet he could give you a long list too.
Yeah, because aroma is strategic, I think. Because you
Yes.
go up in order.
Yeah.
So it's like different from like sitting, you can kind of get a gauge for like, should
It's
you
a
pay,
great
should
place.
you not pay? You know, like those are some different things. I mean, I think about that because when I was in sales and doing sales meetings, you know, I mean, it depended on if I was at a big company and expense account, you know, I would just go to the restaurant I wanted to go to.
Well, of course.
But then when it's different, you have a nonprofit, you know, you might strategically do it differently and feel it out.
That's right. Absolutely.
Well, I love it. Big hugs.
I love you.
Thank you so much for coming. So many crazy stories ahead.
So many.
Yeah, now I have 48 more to ask you about next time we hang out.
I was hoping for 50.
Yeah.
No, you're the best. Thank you so much for this time.
Thank you. Awesome. Well, last time Glozell and I danced it out. Grace and I just talked, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna have Eric just like write some music over it. So this will be us talking, and I'll throw something over
We're
it.
just talking, or if you want to dance, I've got you.
I know, you probably have like real professional dance stuff.
Would you like an opera song? Would you like, no, I'm kidding. It's great.
Give me an inch, I'll take a mile, so, you know.
On the way here, I was like, should I sing her a Bizarro happy birthday? You know, like that. Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll just put music over this, so it will be normal. We won't scare your people.
Sounds good. I'll probably just keep the banter, right? Is that what we should do? Okay. Thank you.